Meanwhile, signs that North Korea is getting antsy, and its state media is sending out a warning threatening a nuclear attack on the United States in response to any American aggression. To former U.S. Army Ranger Nick Irving on how we should handle this. Nick, we've sent an armada into the area with the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson. We're showing a tremendous amount of strength in the region, but what's the next move?
I think the next move right now should be something more along the political side. We need to start putting pressure on China, their big brother, and having them take care of it. I don't think America right now is currently ready for another multi-trillion-dollar war. We're supposed to be a nation that's going through some type of financial healing right now, and I don't think America's ready for that. Neither are the keyboard warriors who pressure the guys like us to go in and fight. Are we really ready to see another, 18, 21-year-old kid's face plastered up on the news station,
right,
and then that name many years later becomes a ticker, and then, bumper sticker deep right after that? I don't think America's really ready for that. We need to handle this politically.
Nick, there's no doubt that the Americans in general have a distaste for these wars, particularly these wars with no conclusion, and the lost lives of our great young men and women. Having said that, I think the world is also obviously concerned about this wild card, Kim Jong-un, who either has nuclear weapons capabilities right now or is propelling quickly toward them, and with the ability to be able to send them to where he wants to. Do we roll the dice and allow him to get this capability and ultimately perhaps use it? And what happens if China doesn't do much more than they've done already, which is apply some economic pressure, but not enough to dissuade him so far?
It's a double-edged sword. No one wins in a nuclear war. The war after that will be fought with sticks and stones. I think we need to do everything we can to avoid anything nuclear, whether that be sanctions, whether that be, NATO getting involved and putting more sanctions and more pressure on North Korea, Syria, our nation's enemies at this point in time. America's not ready for that, and if nuclear weapons do get involved, who wins that?
So, Nick, on a campaign trail, President Trump talked about a lot of these countries pulling their own weight, particularly when it comes to the economics of keeping the world peaceful. After World War II, we forced Japan into a pacifist constitution. Should we now actually urge them to start rebuilding their military? Do we need to see an arms race in Asia to counterbalance North Korea and, to be quite frank with you, to counterbalance China as well?
I would agree in standing up for your own self. I was bullied a lot in high school. There came a time when I had to stand up for my own self. What's that? Before the beard and about 90 pounds of muscle. But it was definitely before that. But I think that once nations start getting pressured into standing up for their own selves, maybe that's where the difference will be made. America cannot be or continue to be the police force and worrying about everybody else at this point in time, because what's the end game? We leave that country, and then the bad guys stand back up and continue to do bad things to good people. What's the end game?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, too, these places where people have been brutalized for so long leaves a vacuum, right? No one's willing to stand up for themselves, so you get rid of one evil dictator and another one just fills that void. Well, we do know that the clock is ticking. Apparently, China is saying, at least publicly, they don't want to see military force, and they would like to see some sort of peaceful resolution. So we hope that comes into play here. And if not, maybe we can just use sanctions. But again, I guess we're dealing with someone who's so unpredictable, and that's the wild card no one can really game plan for or model for.
I agree 100%, but I think that you spank him a few times, he'll learn his lesson. I don't think that it needs to go nuclear or anything like that. I think no one wins that. But if you spank him a few more times, a little bit harder and harder, he'll learn.
Yeah. Well, Nick, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you for your service. We really appreciate that and your expertise this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.